3 likes. Impressive. So that video about the Wii modding actually gathered up a bit of a liking for people. And you know, I got a lot of comments that were like, oh, Big Sleeter, you should do a video on the Wii U or the 3DS or the 3DS. There it is, guys. Here's your video about 3DS modding. You guys are nerds. The 3DS. It was the first time I ever felt cool owning something. Yeah, look at you, pleb. You got your fucking DS Lite, but look at me. I got a circle pad and you don't. Nana nana boo boo. It was really a defining part of my childhood. I had the DS Lite, but honestly, most I did on it was play whatever GBA games I had, which also my dad just randomly one time showed up with the GBA. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, that, I think that was the first console I, like, specifically owned. And I don't really talk about it that much. Like, it was a black GBA, had the better screen. My sister got the blue one. It had a worse screen. But the 3DS was the console that released in my big boy I finished games era. I beat my first 2D and 3D Mario on my red 3DS XL back in early 2013. And when the 3DS finally played its final game in 2017, it kind of sucked hard. I never recovered from it. I never really played the 3DS after. Until now. I never got into modding one of these things till very recently. I liked Wii modding, and I dabbled a little bit into Wii U modding, but I have very little smarts on that, unlike the Wii. But the 3DS was just unmarked territory for me. Well, not anymore, because now I'm a proud 3DS homebrewing king. Hell, I'm the 3DS homebrew queen. I'm fucking royalty in this bitch. And it all began with my brother's old DSi, which was just given to me one day last year for literally no reason. I actually really like this thing. It kind of fixed the DS lust I had after my 3DS broke. But a couple of months ago, I spent the $10 or so on an R4 card, and it really opened my eyes. My DSi became my go-to place for DS and GBA gaming. The fact that my DSi could play native GBA games, like the cartridge was plugged in, even without the GBA slot. Dude, I love CPU architecture. It got me back into homebrew and modding in general. So I finally caved in. I saw a 3DS XL for a reasonable price. I went for it. It was also Japanese. Fun fact, 3DSs are region locked. So no matter what, I had to mod this thing because, you know, just base modding it just makes it region free no matter what. But the seller stated that they were region free. So I thought, oh, he made them region free by modding them. So the hard part was done for me. And all I had to do was download whatever homebrew apps and games I wanted. Nah, he just fucking lied. So I went through the entire process of modding a 3DS and I can safely call myself a pretty huge fan of this thing. Modding a 3DS is also very easy. I say the Wii is easier, but like once again, Nintendo consoles are already very easy to mod in general. 3DS is more steps than the Wii when it comes to modding, but most of the steps are just drag and dropping files onto the SD card. And of course, whatever method you find the easiest, just use that method. And then voila, you have a modded 3DS. If you want the entire spiel, 3ds.hacks.guide. It's the website for you. They go through the entire process of how to mod one of these things, and they even help you download your most essential 3DS homebrew, like God Mode 9. I know text is very scary for people. Like, I'd love to watch a video on this stuff, but trust me, these videos are garbage, and just use this guide is literally fucking amazing. Anyway, back to God Mode 9. God Mode 9 is exactly what it says it is. It's God Mode. You have access to all the 3DS's files, which means you can do whatever you fucking want. Just like a motherfucking god. But we're here to do one essential step. We're not here to dick around with the files. We're just here to back up our NAND. Trust me, it's worth the time. Copying these somewhere safe will save your life just in case of an accidental brick of the 3DS. You can be the smartest guy in the world, do one fuck up, and your whole system's brick. But if you have a NAND backup, you can get it back up and running like nothing. The 3DS Hacks Guide does all of this, and it's got on what to do. I know it's scary. Words are scary, but just trust me. Another essential app 3DS Hacks Guide makes you download is FPDP. It's an app that lets you connect a 3DS SD card to your PC wirelessly as long as the two are on the same network. It stops you from having to insert and deinsert. I should have just said eject. Basically, you don't have to move your SD card. As long as these things are on the same Wi-Fi, you're good. And there's Checkpoint, which is for backing up saves. That's it. I barely use either of these things, but if either of them are something you're really going to use, this hack makes you download them, so you're not missing out on anything. Those are more quality of life apps. Where's the meat? The emulation? Where's what I'm here for? Where are the reasons or worth of modding one of these fucking things? Well, let's begin with FBI. Hey, whoa, I ain't pirated anything yet. Scary name aside, FBI does probably exactly the opposite of what the FBI wants you to do. It lets you download 3DS games and homebrew. I wouldn't recommend using FBI for this, however, because there are 2 essential apps that make it this whole entire app just useless. Universal Updater, an app that the Hack Guide makes you get. It's a super weird name, and it's not for updating, trust me. It's a whole ass homebrew app store. Most of the homebrew apps you want are here as well. It's included but not limited to emulators, games, actual useful apps, and even has Luma 3DS and God Mode 9. Why? I don't know. You already have these on there when you mod your thing, but hey, if you want them again, this is where I download most of my homebrew because there really isn't anything left out that are essential homebrew. Like, oh no, the Tiger Electronics Simulator. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. It's not here. But yeah, it's super cool. It's one of those apps the guy makes you install because it's where you get most of your essential homebrew apps. Like Gate Shop. See, I know what you're here for. And quite honestly, I'm gonna hurl at the sight of what you want. 8shop is piracy heaven. All these Nintendo 3DS apps and games all in one place for free. It's as simple as finding the game's region, the title, hitting install, taking a jog, beating your PR at flat bench press, and now do some grocery shopping while you're at it. Now, Big Sleeter, that doesn't seem like, you know, the most 3DS steps ever. Why am I gonna have to go grocery shopping? Because this thing is so goddamn slow. Obviously, it depends on your Wi-Fi and probably your 3DS type. You know, old 3DS is probably not as good as the new 3DS. But yeah, it's gonna take a while to download the games. Just plug the 3DS in, do something else in the meantime, and check in on it every once in a while just to make sure everything's going all right and you'll be okay. But once it's downloaded, you can just open the game up like it was bought digitally on the eShop. There's nothing else to it. Once it's downloaded, it's yours. They even got some homebrew games and mods for other games. It really is the one-stop shop for 3DS stuff. Now, before I get fucking sued, I do not condone piracy. So Nintendo, you heard me. I'm not condoning it. Do not kill my family over this, please, for the love of God. On a less extreme piracy note, I don't know how to say that. I'm gonna call it Anomaly 3DS. Anomaly 3DS is a theme downloader, meant to download all the themes you can think of. It's not where you actually go and get the themes. It's more or less just where to install the themes and where the themes are going to be stored. 8shop has official themes, but custom themes you can find at the website known as themeplaza.art. It's got a lot of crazy and unique 3DS themes, and if you look it up, they probably have it. All you gotta do is click the theme you want, scan the QR code in Anomaly 3DS, and voila, it's your theme. Mine is Wayne themed. But Big Sleeter, what about those online games? I want to play Mario Kart 7 with somebody across the country. You know, Nintendo Network might have been, you know, discontinued. Get the fuck out of here. But Pretendo Network, I really like that name. Like, you know, instead of Nintendo Network, we're on something pretending to be Nintendo Network. Pretendo Network. Pretendo Network is pretty much Wiimify and Wii Link 24 in one beautiful Dark Twisted Fan. Beautiful package. All those Nintendo apps and games that utilize Nintendo Network are now back up and running after the service's closure. Not the eShop though, fuck that. This isn't for 3DS exclusively. You know how the Wii U had Nintendo Network? Well, it has Pretendo Network too. Now, unlike Wiimify, which is pretty much all figured out except for some smaller titles nobody gaffs about, Pretendo Network is still very much in development, and compatibility really just goes and depends on the different games and different modes in games. For example, Mario Kart 7, you know, some modes are working 100%, but some are just not, and things like Ghost are just not compatible, period. It really depends on when you get Pretendo, though. It's still in active development to this day, and one day you might stumble upon this video when Ghosts are finally compatible with Pretendo Network Mario Kart 7. But don't worry, Wii U owners, Wii U chat is 100% done. But hey, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart Wii, online servers, where's Mario Kart 7 CTGP? What's right here, buddy? CTGP 7. Same idea as CTGP Wii. Custom tracks, Grand Prix. Made by Pablo MK7, it aims pretty much to do exactly the same thing as CTGP Wii does. And it does it just as good. There are differing tracks from both versions, which makes sense because these are entirely different entries, but if you have Mario Kart 7 on your 3DS, this is definitely a must-get mod for the game. Take what I said about CTGP on Wii and apply it here. You don't need a physical cartridge either. If you have the game digital, you're good to go. Hell, there's even a light Citra version for people who are on Citra. Anyway, emulators. The 3DS has them. Once again, you got your virtual console shit that you can download, but what about the consoles the 3DS doesn't have? The OG 3DS didn't have SNES virtual consoles, but thanks to the SNES 9X port on 3DS, you're able to play SNES games on this thing. But yeah, SNES 9X, it runs great on here. I kind of expected them to not run as well because, you know, but no, it runs great, actually. GBA emulation's here, and it's not even emulation. It's running natively on this thing like if a GBA cartridge was just shoved in there somehow. Which makes it weirder that these games weren't available on the 3DS through Virtual Console, quote-unquote, except for the Ambassador titles, but hey, whatever. I ain't Nintendo. I'm not here to make bad business decisions, okay? Like I said earlier, the DSi can do this too, as long as you got the ROMs. Is good. There's some weird games like Sonic Advance, which has this anti-piracy screen, but you know, you could probably fix it somehow. I couldn't find a fix for it. And yeah, there's a ton of other emulators on here too. Genesis, Nintendo. They probably have N64. I haven't checked. But I think the coolest one and the biggest missed opportunity on Nintendo's end It's gotta be Red Viper. Red Viper is a Virtual Boy emulator. Yeah, you know, the commercial failure from Nintendo in the 90s, you know, console so bad it gave you headaches, made Gunpei Yokoi leave Nintendo. Now, why would the Virtual Boy have the coolest emulator? All it had was stereoscopic 3D, you know, the thing the 3DS also has, and there you have it. The best way to play Virtual Boy games. I mean, to be fair, the Virtual Boy library ain't the greatest out there, but when there's a great game like Teleroboxer Boxer and Virtual Boy Wario Land, or hell, even Mario Tennis as basic as it is, it's insane Nintendo didn't once think about this on the 3DS. Even if the Virtual Boy had a lot more sour opinions back in the day, it would have been a really cool showcase of the 3DS's stereoscopic 3D, because the Virtual Boy did it 15 years earlier, and it did it bad. But thanks to modders, this is all possible because of Red Viper. I can play Teleroboxer Boxer the way God intended. On anything but a Virtual Boy. DS games are also compatible with the 3DS natively as well. And with the Twilight Patcher, you can do things such as fix the scaling on DS games to be better than the shit Nintendo thought looked good, and widescreen hacks to make use of the bigger top screen. And yes, circle pad patches. Mario 64 DS, a game where the new added content makes it the best way to experience 64, but the controls make it the worst way to experience 64. People would always be like, yeah, you gotta play it with the circle pad, it makes it good. But no, that's just placebo. It never did. Never fixed anything. But now it has, thanks to GBA temp user Shoko's C-Pad patch for DS games. It's not exclusive to Mario 64 DS, but it's probably the only reason why you're gonna fucking get this patch. But I can safely say, this is the best way to play 64. I'll be honest, it wasn't as simple as I wish it was, and getting the files booting, I wanted to fucking snap my 3DS in half. But when I got it to work, this was the definitive way to play it. From what I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, actually don't, I'll just get really mad. Some DS games just don't work at all booting from the Twilight menu. I've heard some compatibility issues are present, but most of the heavy hitters are working, and it's lesser known slop titles that stop 100% compatibility from happening. But Mario 64 DS works, and the circle pad patch just makes it one of the best ways to experience the game. And the 64 purists just cocked their guns at me saying that. It's like homebrew games that weren't on the eShop but are made available through Homebrew. Sonic CD and Mania are ported natively on here, and they run damn fine. No real issues other than some load times on Mania's end, but I actually got really lucky and I didn't experience anything abhorrent. Sonic 1 and 2 are available in the same means as CD and Mania. They were on the Wii as well, but I never mentioned them because I just never got them working unlike CD and Mania. 64 also has a native port on the 3DS too. On new 3DS systems, it runs at a solid 60 FPS, but on my old 3DS, it barely runs 30 once I enter Bob on Battlefield. There's also a fucking FNAF port here. That's cool. Super Mario War, from what I've seen, hasn't been ported yet, but if it was, I would have mentioned it. Super Mario War is like a really fun game. You should go play it, please, with the big sleeter on top. And I forgot to mention this with the Wii modding video, but 3D Pinball Space Cadet, it's here. It's ported, and it runs fine. It's a thing, and I'm gonna go play it now. But I hope this video helped convince you to get out of the Wii modding comfort zone and go head on into the realm of 3DS modding. Once again, it's not a console I familiarized myself with, unlike the Wii and a bit of the Wii U, so a lot of this video is just me shitting my way through the video and trying my damn hardest to do research. I've had a lot of wonderful friends help me peer review the script who knew a lot more than I did about the 3DS modding, and I couldn't thank them enough for the help. There are some other fantastic videos that go through the modding process, and this video is just me paying homage to a console I never modded till recently, and just wanted to share my love for this thing. You know, I think the thing that makes homebrewing so special is the process. Like, you know, successfully getting a console modded really is just a good feeling. It really just tinkles with my serotonin, my dopamine, my it's like drugs, you know. But trust me, this ain't the end of homebrew videos. I have a shit ton of more consoles to yap about homebrew wise. Console modding and consoles in general are a topic I love talking about. So hey, if you like either or, you know, I got plenty of yap sessions coming out about them, so I hope you stick around because I ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So with that said, have a terrible fucking day.